are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, sorry, my daughter doesn't realize I started. But I'll be right there. Be right back.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. My daughter thought I was talking to her. Oh, let me just fix the screen once. How's it going? How many days are you in the office?
0.
Oh, really?
I have not been back to the office since mid-March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in fact, our wing is like completely under lock and key right now, apparently.
My goodness, I didn't realize that because you're a scientist, right? Or a research scientist?
No, I moved over to supply chain.
Oh, okay. So I guess just like the people who have to be in the labs are coming then.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I'll start, you guys. Thank you for coming. Close your eyes. Sit in your easy seat, Sukhasana. Right leg is in front of the left. And we'll start with one hand on the chest and then one hand on the belly. And just like we normally do, we're going to passively witness the breath, feeling the chest rise and fall with the inhalation and the exhalation. Noticing the belly inflate and deflate beneath the hands. Remember, there's no need to alter the breath. You're just being a silent witness to it. Lower your hands to the knees so the palms are turned down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And on the exhalation, you're going to hinge forward from the hips. Walk the hands out. Let your head hang. Inhale, lift your head, lift the chest. And sitting tall, we'll raise our right arm overhead. Look upward to the ceiling as you look to your right. Inhale to your center. Exhale. Let's turn to our right, left hand outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist from the waist. Push off the back hand and come to center. We're going to bring the left arm overhead, lateral flexion, gaze is upward. Inhale, center. Use your exhalation to twist to your left. Right hand goes to the outside of the left knee. Gaze follows the back left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Pushing off the back hand, come to your center. Bring your opposite leg in front. So closing your eyes, place the fingertips on the floor behind you. Your fingertips are turned away from the hips. You can roll your shoulders back. If you'd like, you're welcome to press the entire palm to the floor or walk the hands close together until the sides of the pinky fingers touch. Be sure to use your Ujjayi breath, breathing slowly and deeply in and out through your nose. With the Ujjayi breath, you sip the air down the windpipe, kind of squeezing it to create a hissing or humming sound. Continuing to use your breath as a point of focus for the majority of the yoga asanas that we'll practice. Finish your next exhalation, then open the eyes, reach your arms out to the sides, slide your right hand out, stretch your left arm overhead, looking upward to the left. Keep the sit bones on the floor, especially the left sit bone stays grounded. Pushing away with the bottom hand, we'll switch sides. Left hand slides up, right arm stretches overhead. Continue to turn your chest upward to the ceiling, dropping the right sit bone further into the floor, and then pushing off the lower hand, come to your center. Inhale, arms up, exhale, hands in front of heart center. Go on at your own pace. Each inhalation, arms lift, and each exhalation, hands lower in front of heart center. So please continue to focus on this movement, lifting and lowering the arms with the breath. Last exhalation with the hands back in front of heart center. Lower the hands to the knees. Your palms are turned down. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Use your exhalation to open your eyes again, hinging forward from the hips. Walk your hands out, let your head hang. Inhale. As you lift the head and chest, walk the hands back in, sitting tall. We'll come to all fours. And doing the spinal balance, reach back to the right leg and push into the ball of the right foot. Use the inhalation to lift the heel in line with your hip and extend the left arm out in front. Option of bending the right knee and holding onto the right ankle with the left hand, using the opposite leg and arm. Exhale, lower your hand and knee to the mat. Reach back through the left leg, push into the ball of the foot. Inhale as the heel comes in line with the hip and the right arm stretches out in front. Option to deepen the pose by bending the left knee and holding onto the left ankle with the right hand. Exhale, hand and knee to the floor. Drop the sit bones to the heels and rest in Balasana. This is child's pose. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest. Come to all fours. Separate your knees, hip width apart. Let's do some cat-cows next. Inhale, lift the chest, look up, turn the tailbone to the ceiling, push the belly button to the floor. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the back, chin to chest. Go at your own pace. Let the inhalation lift the chest and the exhalation pull the tailbone under. Continue to use your Ujjayi breath, your victorious breath. We'll do one last cat-cow. Take as much time as you want to finish it. When the exhalation is complete, bring your spine to a neutral position and come to rest in a child's pose or balasana. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Coming to all fours, separate your knees, hip width apart. Let's do our downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, bring the weight to the heels. Press the chest to the knees. Look at your toes. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs, walk or step your feet forward. Bend both knees again, use the inhalation to lift the arms up and bring your palms together. Lift the chest, exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center, exhale, hinging from the hips into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking outward. Exhale, fold in half. Palms on the mat, step to your plank. Exhale to Chaturanga, turn the elbows to the hips, lower the chest. Inhale to lift the heart and chest, pushing into the tops of the feet. Upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the elbows, push off the floor. Curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Using the Ujjayi breath, controlling the breath, long inhalations through the nose, longer exhalations out through the nostrils. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs, walk or step your feet forward. Bend both knees again. Inhale, arms up. Lift the chest. Exhale as you go to upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Half standing forward bend, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in half. Bend both knees, bring your palms to the floor. Stepping to a plank again. Exhale to Chaturanga. Squeeze the upper arms to the sides of the torso. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. And let's bend our elbows, pushing off the floor, curling the toes under. Downward facing dog. Come forward to a plank, pigeon pose, Kapotasana. Right knee comes in between the thumbs. Top of the left foot is on the floor. You can come up onto your fingertips, slide the left leg a little further down the mat. Keep your chest lifted. Your gaze, which is also known as your drishti, is up to the ceiling. Inhale. On the exhalation, hinge from the hips. Walk the hands out. Rest the forehead on the floor. If you want to modify the posture, rest your forehead on a block or your stacked fist. Keep your hips level with each other. Just double check you're not rolling towards the right hip. If you are, if the right hips drop like this, just center both hips and press them evenly to the ground. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest. We're going to walk our hands back in, curl the toes of the left foot under, right leg slides back to meet it. Before we go to the other side, downward facing dog, lift the hips, sink the weight to the heels. Using the Ujjayi breath, Continue to keep the mind focused on the breath. Press forward to plank. Kapotasana, left side. Bring the left knee in between the thumbs. Top of the right foot's on the floor. You can slide that right leg down the mat. Balancing on the fingertips. Chest is lifted. Long spine, then arching back. Gaze is still upward to the ceiling. Exhale. Hinging from the hips, walk the hands out again. Rest the forehead on the floor or your stacked fist. Even in this posture, you're still using Ujjayi breath, keeping both hips centered and balanced as you press them evenly to the ground. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Walk the hands in so they frame the left knee. Curl the toes of the right foot under. We're going to go to plank again. Slide the left leg back. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Sink the heels to the floor. Always using the Ujjayi breath. Bend the knees. Walk or step the feet in between the hands and come into your standing forward bend. Bend your knees again to protect your lower back as you inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Press the hands together, lift the chest. Exhale, this is your upward salute. Inhale, center. So last Surya Namaskar, last sun salutation as you exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front of you. Exhale, fold in half. With your knees bent and the palms on the mat, step into a plank position. Exhale to Chaturanga. Elbows turn to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart and chest for Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Press into the tops of the feet. Bend the elbows, pushing off the floor, curling the toes under. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, come to all fours, and drop into child's pose, Balasana. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest. Come to all fours, another downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, sink the weight to the heels. Remember, the feet are always separated hip width apart and downward facing dog. As you look in between the thumbs, bend the knees, walk or step the feet in between the hands. Bend both knees again. Inhale the arms up, lift the chest, and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale to your center. We're going to exhale to chair pose, so hands lowered in front of heart center. Toes, ankles touch, legs squeeze together. Exhale, drop your seat. Let's do warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Right foot's in front. Step back onto your left foot. Notice how there's just a slight turn out in the back left foot. Without actually lifting the back left foot up off the mat, try and slide it forward to the right heel. And this will allow your hips to square off to the short edge of the mat in front. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. stepping into mountain pose or Tadasana. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Exhale for Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale to Utkatasana, the chair pose. Pulling the navel in and up. Just a slight tuck to the tailbone. And exhale as you drop your seat. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Left foot's in front. This time as you step back to your right. Turn your right hip towards the left knee. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Press into the outside edge of the back right foot. Without lifting the right foot up off the mat, try and slide it forward towards the left knee. Most likely it's not going to move. The only reason we're doing that is to turn the right hip towards the left knee. Exhale, hands in front of heart center, and return to Tadasana. Palms are turned outwards, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Inhale as you reach your arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, going to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center, and exhale into chair or Utkatasana. So toes or ankles are still touching. If you can't get there, that's fine. That's just our intention. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Drop the seat. Let's do warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Keep your right foot in front and step back onto your left foot. I'm going to mirror you here. Extend your arms out to the sides. Keep pulling your left knee out to the left side so it's in line with the second toe of the left foot. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Straighten the front right leg. So I'm sorry, you should have your right leg in front. I just have my left leg in front so that I can face the screen. At least for the start, it's a little easier for you to see me and for you to hear my voice. Option to take the raised arm behind the back. That means your left hand is holding onto the right inner thigh. If you want to modify the arm, place the hand on the hip. We're going to transition to our intense side stretch next, Parsvatanasana. So you're probably going to want to shorten your base for this. You're welcome to stay in this wide base, but it might be a little uncomfortable. If so, bend the front right knee and step the back left foot forward. By all means, you're welcome to use a block, hold on to the front leg, or place fingertips or palms on the ground. Turn your back left foot in slightly so you can square your hips off to the short edge of the mat in front. Coming out of the posture, bend the front knee and step your back left foot forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead, pressing the palms together. Lift the chest and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale to your chair position or Utkatasana. Exhale, drop the seat. Pull your navel in and up, slight tuck to your tailbone. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And we'll go to warrior two. Keep your left foot in front and step back onto your right. Reach your arms out Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. So it's this front thigh, in which case for you, it'll be your left thigh that you're pulling out to the side so the left knee travels in line with the second toe of the left foot. Make sure you can still see the left big toe. Otherwise, inch it forward. Going to triangle pose or Trikonasana next. Straighten the front left leg. Push the right hip back. Left side of the body goes in line with the left knee. Right hand can either be held over the right shoulder or wrapped around the back in a bind. So if you bound the arm behind your back, that means your right hand is holding onto your left inner thigh. So release your arms to the floor as you turn your hips down to the floor. Your back right foot is going to turn in a little bit more. You're welcome to keep this wide base, or to make it more accessible, bend the front left knee, step your right foot forward. The front leg is straight, so depending on your range of motion, you may want to hold on to the front leg, press the palms into a block, or bring fingertips or hands to the ground. Continue to use the Ujjayi breath. Then the front left knee, step the back foot forward. Bend your knees, inhale, reach your arms up, press the palms together, lift the chest, and exhale for your upward salute. Inhale, center, exhale, hands in front of heart center. We're going to prepare for tree pose or Vrksasana. You can close your eyes with me as you stand tall. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift your toes, spread your toes wide into the mat. Press the four corners of your foot into the floor. Feel both sides of the ball of the foot, both sides of the heel of the foot, the four corners of the foot rooted into the ground. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes and stare at a fixed point. Starting with your right foot, you can rest it on the ankle, the side of the calf, or inner thigh. Option to take your arms overhead. Make sure you still have your right foot above or below the side of the left knee. Exhale as you return your hands in front of heart center. Bring the knee to the midline and step into your mountain pose or Tadasana. Your palms are opened outwards. Close the eyes. Press the hands together in front of heart center in Anjali Mudra. Find a comfortable standing position. If you want to move the feet around until you're happy with the placement, go ahead, do that. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Once again, lift up the toes, fan them out into the mat, and press the four corners of the foot to the floor, rooting both sides of the ball of the foot and both sides of the heel of the foot into the ground. Inhale, exhale, opening the eyes, staring at a fixed point. Place the left foot on the ankle, the side of the calf, or inner thigh. Wherever you position it on the side of the leg, make sure it is above or below the side of the knee, protecting your knee joint. Option to reach the arms overhead. Keep turning your left knee out to the left side. Exhale, your hands come in front of the heart center, knee goes to the midline, and you can step into mountain pose, also known as Tadasana, opening the chest by turning the palms outward. For our next posture, you can use a block. It's half moon pose, also known as Ardha Chandrasana. Another prop would be a wall. So if you want to balance against a wall, your back starts completely flush with the wall behind you. All right, we're gonna separate our feet about one leg's distance apart. Turn your feet to the right. Right foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat, the wide edge of the mat. And your back foot is slightly turned in to begin with. If you have a block, the block goes to the front of the right foot and to the side. So you're going to start by bending your right knee, holding onto the block, or placing the right hand on the floor as you pick up the left foot. If you're using a wall behind you as a prop, press your hips and shoulder blades into the wall. Left hand is over the left shoulder, stacking the hips on top of each other, stacking the shoulders on top of each other. Coming out of the posture, release the raised arm to the floor, bend the right knee, drop the left foot to the mat, take your block with you if you're using it, and turn to your left. So block this time, it's the outside edge of the left foot, but you do want it kind of more forward in front of the left foot. So with the back leg turned in slightly, bend the left knee, place the left hand on the block or the floor, reach the right arm up. Last breath, release the raised arm, bend the left knee. You can step that right foot onto the mat as you straighten the front leg. Heel toe the feet together. You can either hop the feet together or continue walking the feet into each other, coming into mountain pose or Tadasana. We'll step forward to the short edge of the mat, placing the hands on the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front of you. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees, palms on the ground, step to a plank. And we'll exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Press forward to plank. Modify the plank, knees, tops of the feet on the floor. And as you point the elbows back to the hips, bend the elbows, lower the chest, bend the belly to the ground. This is Sphinx pose, Ardha Bhujangasana. Your elbows are underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, chest lifted. Your gaze is upward. And of course, if this hurts your back today, that means you want to go into crocodile pose, Nakrasana. So those of you who'd like, you can stay in this posture. I'll just give you an example of what crocodile pose looks like. And that's with the legs separated in a letter V, toes turned out to the opposite side, and one hand placed on top of the other, to rest the forehead on. Otherwise, I'm going to stay with you in Ardha Bhujangasana. It's known as Sphinx pose. It's also translated as half cobra pose. If you want to move further into the posture, the option is to go to Cobra Pose Bhujangasana by pressing into the palms of the hands. Be aware of the back. If there's pain, return the elbows to the floor or rest in crocodile pose, Makrasana. Next exhalation, lowering the elbows back to the ground. We'll go into crocodile pose. Everybody will join me in this. You're going to separate your legs to form a letter V, ankles resting on the ground, elbows turned out to the opposite sides, one hand placed on top of the other, forehead resting on the hands. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. We're going to bring our legs together. Take the hands under the shoulders, push to all fours, and do a counter pose, a child's pose, Balasana. Before you were just doing those baby back bends. And this time, we're going to stretch our back forward. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, coming to all fours. Let's drop one hip onto the floor. We'll go into down angle pose or Baddha Konasana, pressing the soles of the feet together. Hold onto the toes or the ankles. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hinge, lead with the heart, extending the chest out beyond the toes, with the intention of resting the belly button onto the toes one day. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your knees together. Slide one leg out in front, then the other. Roll the legs in and out from the hips and let them rest. So we're going to come into Dandasana with the spine long, the hands alongside the shoulders. Slide your fingertips forward towards the knees. Look at your navel. Roll to the elbows, the shoulder blades. Then let your head rest on the floor. I welcome you to close your eyes, return your breath to its natural breathing rate, and we'll move into reclining bound angle pose. Walk the heels partway up the mat, lower the small of the back onto the floor. Drop your knees out to opposite sides and press the bottoms of the feet together. Slide the arms away from the sides of the torso. Rotate your palms up to the ceiling for an opening through the chest. Become aware of the breath again without consciously controlling it, continuing to let it flow naturally. Become aware of the rhythm of the breath. Is the breath jagged, or is it flowing smoothly through the body already? Even if the breath is a little jagged from the previous postures that you've done, it will start to slow down. Gently open your eyes. You can bring the knees together with the arms alongside the torso. Today we're going to do our joyful baby pose on Andasan. Drop the small of the back onto the floor. Bring the knees to the chest. Arms go in between the legs. You can either hold onto the ankles, the bottoms of the feet are turned up to the ceiling, or use your first two fingers, index and middle finger, slide them in between the big and second toe, and lock with the thumb. Keep your neck long, your chin neutral. Okay, one more Ujjayi, deep breath, then release the toes, the ankles, bring the knees and feet down to the floor. So right now, bottoms of the feet are resting on the ground. We're gonna move into a reclining twist next. So I'm gonna adjust my mat so I have a little bit of space to do this. All right, so take the arms out to the sides. Your hands are in line with the shoulders. Use the inhalation to pull the knees to the chest. As you exhale, drop your knees to the right. Turn your head to look towards your left hand. For those of you who'd like to move further into the posture, the first option is to rest the right hand lightly on the side of the left thigh to draw the knees closer to the ground. If you want to stretch further into the posture, the next option is to extend the top left leg out with the right hand holding on to the left heel. If you did choose to go into that advanced position, pull the right knee up so that the left knee can rest on top of the right knee. Remember, the gaze is turned towards the left hand. Bring your head to center with both palms on the floor and both knees bent. Inhale, knees to the chest. Exhale, lower your knees to the left side. Your head is turned towards your right hand. Same option with the hands. If you want, this time would be the left hand gently guiding the top leg to the floor, just bringing those knees closer to the ground. And for those of you who want to stretch the piriformis muscle and you don't feel anything in this pose, then try pulling the knees a little higher up to the left underarm, extending the top right leg out and holding onto the right heel with the left hand. It's likely that one side is tighter than the other. That's normal. Remember, the knees are stacked on top of each other. Okay, both hands on the ground, both knees bent, head centered. Inhale the knees to the chest. Hug the shins. Begin to roll forward and back, side to side. Your choice if you'd like to lift up the head and shoulders, making yourself into a tight little ball, rolling over the kidneys, just giving them a gentle massage, and then returning to center. Release the head and shoulders if you've raised them, release the hands and return the feet to the mat. Slide one leg down the mat, then the other. Roll your legs in and out from the hips and let them rest. We're moving to our guided relaxation next. If you'd like to make any adjustments before relaxing in Shavasana, go ahead and do that. You're welcome to add your eye pillow or turn off your lights, put on socks, a blanket, or even position a pillow under your head. And then when you are comfortably reclined on the ground, separate your legs to form the letter V. Heels at the opposite corner edges of the mat. Arms away from the sides of the torso and palms turned upward to the ceiling. And of course, if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, please close the eyes and stay comfortably relaxed in this Shavasana pose or corpse pose for the remainder of the relaxation. Let your awareness flow down to your toes. Wiggle your toes, then let the feet rest. Move to your hands, wiggle your fingers, open wide through the palms, stretch out through the fingertips. Curl the fingers in, soft fist, squeeze it a few times, and release, letting your hands relax again. Guide the focus down to the feet. Visualize the healing energy. This energy can take any shape that you wish. Let the energy flow into your big toes. Just notice the big toes. Move the healing energy to the second toe. Just noticing the second toe. Nothing else but a small part of the body. When you're ready, let the healing energy flow into the next toe and the next until eventually it reaches the smallest toe. Just connecting with each toe one at a time. Notice the spaces in between each of the toes. Let the healing energy slide down the backs of the toes till it wash through the soles of the feet. So the energy as it massages the bottoms of the feet, rubbing away any cramping or fatigue that might exist in the foot. As you continue to keep your focus within the foot for a moment, visualize the small bones that compose the foot. Think about the spaces in between each of the small bones that make up the foot. Let the healing energy flow through these spaces in between the small bones that make up the foot. Feel the energy rise through the tops of the feet into the ankles. Let the energy slowly flow up the fronts of the lower legs till it rise up your shins. Gently wrap around the sides of the lower legs and flow into the calf muscles in the backs of the lower legs. Just easing away any tension in the lower half of the legs. Move this healing energy higher. Let it flow into the knees. Guide it upward into the fronts of the thighs. As you feel the healing energy flowing through the quadriceps, the large muscle group in the fronts of the thighs, consciously relax the quads. Feel this muscle group release and let go. Wrap the healing energy around the sides of your thighs. Then feel it flow into the hamstrings and the backs of your thighs. As this healing energy flows through the hamstrings, let any tension or any emotions that may have collected in the hamstrings start to ease away. Slowly guide the healing energy upward to the hips. Feel the energy as it swirls around the outside outsides of your hips. Let your hips begin to unwind and open. Soften the belly. Let the energy flow up from the abdomen to the center of the chest. From here, feel this healing energy as it spreads out across your chest, moving all of the face, reaching all the way out to the sides of the rib cage. Allow your chest to untighten. Guide the energy up to the tops of the shoulders. Relax your shoulders towards the floor. Move the healing energy higher. Feel it reaching into each side of the neck. Become aware of the bands located along each side of the neck. Visualize any stress held in the sides of the neck melting away. Soften your throat. Relax the jawline, creating space between the upper and bottom row of teeth. Let the healing energy flow into the face, this time letting the energy spread out across the face, moving all of the facial muscles out to the sides, relaxing the muscle in the forehead. Feel the energy as it washes back from the forehead into the scalp. Let the healing energy wash throughout the entire scalp like warm water from a shower. Allow the scalp to loosen. Guide the energy from the back of the scalp into the back of the neck. As you become aware of the back of your neck, visualize the small muscles in the back of the neck softening, releasing any residual stress that might reside in the back of the neck. Slowly guide the healing energy down the spine. Let it spiral in between the spaces of each of the vertebrae that make up the spine. Finally reaching the base of the spine. Feel the energy as it radiates out from the center of the spine and flows across the middle of your back. Let the healing energy slide into the lower back and guide it up across the shoulder blades. Feel the energy as it begins to flow freely throughout the entire back, deeply massaging all of the muscles of the back, seeking out any knots that might exist within the muscles of the back and rubbing them away. Move the energy up from the shoulder blades, back to the tops of the shoulders. Let it flow into the upper arms, relaxing the muscles of the upper arms. Move the energy into the elbows. Sense the spaciousness in each elbow joint. Guide the energy through the forearms, into the wrist joints. Sense the spaciousness in each wrist joint. And finally, let the healing energy flow into the hands and collect in the center of the palms. Once you feel that you're holding this energy in both hands, guide it out to the fingers. Become aware of a single finger. As you notice one finger, take a moment to focus on the knuckle joint within that individual finger and sense the spaciousness within the knuckle joint of just a single finger. Give yourself a moment to do this with each finger, noticing finger, knuckle joint, and space within the knuckle joint of the finger. Then once you've had a moment to check in with each finger, allow the healing energy to exit out through the fingertips, taking away with it any toxins or impurities from the body, leaving your entire body cleansed and deeply relaxed, and the mind aware, awake, and highly focused as you continue to train your concentration to focus on just one thing at a time. Let's take an active inhalation through the nose, longer exhalation out through the nostrils. I invite you to open the eyes with the completion of the exhalation. Wiggle the toes again, roll the ankles around, roll the legs in and out from the hips, and then let the lower half of the body rest. Move to the hands, wiggle the fingers, and let your hands relax. Walk the heels to the sit bones. With both feet flat on the floor, raise your right arm, rest it on the floor behind you, and you can roll onto your right side. Rest here on your right side for a few natural breaths. Whenever you're ready, press the left palm into the ground and sit yourself up into an easy seat, Sukhasana, or just any comfortable cross-legged position that works for you today. We'll move to our final meditation on our third eye, the energy point called your Ajna chakra, located in between the eyebrows and slightly above. Your decision how you'd like to rest the hands. They can be turned down on the knees, opened upward to the ceiling, palms turned up, adding a mudra if you choose by pressing the index finger and thumb together, or placing one hand inside the other with the palms turned upward to the ceiling, thumbs touching. With the eyes closed, bring your awareness to the chakra known as your third eye, located in between the eyebrows and slightly above. This chakra correlates with your pineal gland. It's said to promote intuition. And as you just continue to focus on this space in between the eyebrows and slightly above, your mind will eventually wander on to other thoughts. Whenever you're aware, just gently return the focus back to the third eye. And slowly returning the awareness back to the room. Take an active inhalation through your nose, longer exhalation out through the nostrils, gently reopening the eyes, gazing softly at the floor in front of you. We'll end the day here, sealing in benefits of today's practice. Namaste. Thanks for coming today. And tomorrow's yoga class is Express Yoga. It's just a 30-minute class from 11:15 to 11:45. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Dennis.
Bye, bye, Nita. Bye,
Bye.
Kate.
Bye. Have a good week.
You too.